Peter Obi, former running mate, finally said something. His name is Datti Ahmed Baba. He said something about Peter Obi's political future because it's not just an ordinary interview he had, and it sounded more like a warning. A warning about loyalty, a warning about political structure, and maybe even a warning about 2027 itself. Some people now believe that he is genuinely concerned about an Obi, and some people are actually saying that that he is angry because he has been sidelined politically. But after listening carefully to everything he said, one thing became clear to me. It's actually a deep crack beginning to show inside opposition movement, and that's what Datti is trying to warn Obi about. If they're not careful, 2027 may become harder than many people think. So listen carefully to this video, right? Recently, Baba-Ahmed openly questioned some Peter Obi's political decisions, especially the issues of him leaving Labour Party during the internal crisis and moving into another political coalition, ADC. According to Datti, a leader should not abandon a struggling structure. Now, at first glance, that statement may sound simple, but politically, the statement carries heavy meaning. Because what that is indirectly saying is this: if you truly want to lead Nigeria, then Nigerians are expecting you to stay and fight during difficult battles, not to move whenever things become uncomfortable. And honestly, as a Nigerian, you might agree with that point. But remember, one of the biggest reasons many young Nigerians supported Peter Obi in 2023 was because they believed it was different from traditional politicians. They saw Obi as a disciplined man, a focused and a consistent politician. But now, critics are beginning to ask different questions. That is, he moved from APGA to PDP to Labour Party and now to NDC. Some people are even beginning to feel that Obi keeps changing political or too often, and they are calling him political nomad. But in politics, perception matters. Even if every movement has strategic reasons behind it, the public still will interpret it differently as they like. And this is where that statement becomes very important, because it sounds more like, I'm worried for Peter Obi. He may slowly lose public image that made millions of Nigerians believe in him. That different politician image, right? And once the image starts to fade, the emotional connection between Obi and many supporters may begin to weaken. But Datti did not stop there. Another powerful part of his statement was when he talked about the North. He suggested that the North may not fully support Obi-Kwankwaso alliance the way people may expect. Now, that's an extremely important part of his statement, because Datti might actually understand politics to an extent. He understands religious balance, he understands the religious interest and other negotiations. Does he understand how political alliance truly works behind closed door? Anyways, when he said North may not be fully supporting Obi and Kwankwaso, it's not something we should ignore. It may actually be warning Obi that public endorsements are different from real political support during the election itself. And honestly, Nigerian political history has shown that many alliances collapse once election pressure begins. Now, let's address another sensitive part of this whole situation. Could Datti himself be feeling political sideline? Is that actually the problem? Because many people are not believing that's what it is. Because some of his statements sounded less like pure political analysis and more like a disappointment for somebody who was Obi's running mate. So almost like someone saying, we built this movement together, but major decisions are not happening without me. You are not listening to me. And if we're being fair, that possibility cannot be ignored completely. Politics is emotional too, especially when alliances shift and new power structure begins to emerge. So yes, there may be some personal frustration with Ahmed Datti and his comments, but this does not automatically make everything he said wrong. Because if we are being honest, some of his concerns are actually valid. Coalitions without strong ideology usually struggle. Too many defections can confuse supporters. An unresolved party crisis can follow politicians into a new political homes. That is something Nigerian politics has shown repeatedly over time. Now, here's the big lessons from all of this. Popularity alone may no longer be enough for Peter Obi moving forward. In 2023, Obi proved he could inspire millions of Nigerians emotionally. But in 2027, he may need something bigger. He may need structure, negotiation, regional trust, political endurance, coalition management. And that is exactly what Datti is actually warning him about if you look at the big picture. He may basically be saying, Being loved by people is important, but surviving in Nigeria, that politics require much more. Now, does this mean Obi is finished politically? No, far from it. Peter Obi is just getting started, and is actually one of the strongest political supports in Nigeria today. But if he wants to remain politically powerful, there are certain things he needs to fix. First, he may need to rebuild his ideology clearly. Right now, many Nigerians are confused, or some Nigerians are confused. Some people really want to understand clearly what this new coalition will stand for. How is it different from APC? How is it different from PDP? How is it different from other political arrangements Nigeria has already tried before? Secondly, Obi may need to avoid looking politically unstable. He may need to keep giving those press statements that will make people believe that he knows what he's doing. Because in politics, perception is everything. Thirdly, he may need to build stronger northern trust. Anyways, I believe Kwankwaso will give him that strong trust. Not just elite endorsement, but actual grassroots trust. Because without the support from the north, it's almost impossible for anyone to win politically in Nigeria. And finally, Obi may need to protect one thing that made him powerful in the first place. That is his image. The image we have of Obi is that he is different from all the other traditional politicians that we know. Because once Nigerians begin to see him as just another politician, then the emotional movement around him may weaken very fast. But honestly, the most interesting part of Datti's statement was not even the criticism itself. It was the disappointment behind the words. Because Datti did not sound like a political enemy. He sounded more like someone watching a movement slowly changing direction. And he's being worried about where Peter Obi's political journey might end. Now, whether Nigerians agree with Datti or not, one thing is certain. He has raised the question that Peter Obi's camp can no longer ignore. And as 2027 continues to draw closer, the internal cracks inside the opposition may become one of the biggest political stories in Nigeria. What do you think? Do you think Datti Baba-Ahmed is genuinely concerned about Peter Obi? Or do you think this is simply political frustration from Ahmed Datti? Drop your opinion in the comment section. And if you enjoy breakdowns like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss major political updates when we drop one.